Hello, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching me from. Welcome to the final books and beer of the series as I talk about my book, which is there. I always get confused by that. It's back to front, isn't it? Whereas I talk about my book there, Istanbul, which is out on Friday. That's quite distracting, actually. It's quite near my face, and I'm not. I'm going to have to lean out like this so that I can still see what I'm doing. Welcome, how are you? I hope this finds you well, whether you're watching now, live whilst I'm talking, or tomorrow or whenever you're watching. Welcome, thank you for tuning in. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Luke. I'm an author of thriller novels, and I am celebrating the release of that new book right there, that one right there on the screen, Istanbul, which is out on Friday. Now, I do these conversations every single Wednesday. Sometimes it's me just chatting about my writing process, about the places I go, about the things that I do, about how I come up with my stories, all those sorts of things. On other occasions, I have authors on the chat with me, and we talk about those things together. I love doing both of them, both sorts of conversations I really enjoy, and I like being able to connect with you and share my sort of, how I do things with you. I think being a writer is difficult in a sense because I don't release books that often. I know there are writers who are more prolific than me and have been doing it for longer and write much quicker, and that's amazing. But, it's 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times a year, something like that, not regularly. So doing something like this is so nice because I get a regular chat, being able to tell you regularly, I'm still here. I'm still working on this. I'm still doing it, and I appreciate you tuning in and sharing that with me and spending that time with me. If you're watching live, please do comment. When I'm doing this on my own, the comments are so important because it can feel like it's just me looking at the camera and talking rubbish. So it really is helpful if you're watching live and want to ask some questions or whatever. That's amazing. If you're watching afterwards, please comment as well because it notifies me and I go through and watch them. I can see Alison's in with us already. Hi Alison, how are you doing? I hope you're well. And I've got a beer because it is books and beer. It's a Zuba, one of these classic Polish beers that I enjoy every so often. Here we go. And I thought I had to have one today because I'm celebrating obviously the launch of the book. So yeah. Now, I was hoping to be able to have the paperback book with me because the paperback you can buy now. I've released it a little bit early, as I told you last week when I did this, because I want people who want the paperback book to be able to get it by Friday when the ebook comes out. I like the idea that you can all read it together at the same time, so I've released that a little bit earlier. So if you've been really quick, you may have got that already. I've got my copy, but I didn't bring it with me to my office, so that's annoying. left it. So anyway, there we go. It's all right. That doesn't matter. I've got it on the screen there for you to see, which is great. So cheers very much. I've got a couple of reviews to share today. I'm going to share the blurb with you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the story and what I've been up to this week and all those sorts of things over the course of the next 15-20 minutes, something like that. So yeah, fantastic. First though, have a sip of this. So, I'm really pleased that Istanbul is going. 2 days to go. It's out on Friday. So if you've pre-ordered it, which I'm so grateful of you, if you haven't, I'll put the link in the comments now. In fact, if you've pre-ordered it, thank you in advance for that. It's what I love is seeing that people have pre-ordered that because it's a real sort of test of... Here we go. I can't talk whilst I'm concentrating. There we are. I feel like it's a real sort of show of faith, that pre-order, because whilst you've not put any actual money in at that time, it only takes the payment when you actually get the book. It's a bit like saying, I'm up for it. I will. I don't know about the book yet, but I'm up for it. Whatever you're selling, I'm up for it, and I appreciate that. I also appreciate it because I know a lot of you read my books through a Kindle Unlimited subscription, which is fantastic. I love that you can support me in that way and it doesn't cost you loads of money. But I get a bigger chunk of money if you buy it outright rather than do it through KU. I think it's about 3 times the amount I get if you buy it rather than do it through the KU. You know, if you want to read it that way, that's amazing, that's fine. But if you're up for chucking a fiver, be it dollars or pounds, my way, and showing your support in that way, it's appreciated so much. So thank you if you've done that already. There's the link on the comments to go and do that if you haven't. And as soon as the book's released, that link still works, and you can just buy it or read it with KU as soon as it's there. And of course, you can buy the paperback and those sorts of things on there as well. So yeah, it's amazing, it's fantastic. I'm really, really pleased. I'm going to share the blurb with you now. I've got it over here on this screen, and I had a couple of comments on this. I've put it as a post on Facebook a few times, as you may have seen, and the top line is the top line of the blurb: governments in chaos, violence in the streets, a new world order is coming. And someone commented saying, is this a news article? And I thought, that's painful, isn't it? That's painfully close to the truth. I didn't intend it to be that way, but it just so happens to have turned out that way, unfortunately. There we go. Anyway, this is what it's all about. This is sort of the cliff notes, the summary, the description. Governments in chaos, violence in the streets, a new world order is coming. When Brent Fasslane, an exiled American conspiracy theorist, disappears in Istanbul, no one's surprised. After all, if you're a thorn in the side of the establishment, it's a matter of when and not if. But when the attention of the world's media sends Fasslane's new book up the charts, the powerful start to worry. A damning account of corruption within the world's governments, the book fuels a demand for change, with fear, violence, and bloodshed not far behind. Leo and Alyssa head to Istanbul in an attempt to prevent all-out anarchy. But when sinister forces intervene, it's clear the ancient city won't make it easy for them. After all, this wouldn't be the first time civilizations have fallen in the labyrinthine streets of old Bzyanthiam. Can Leo and Alyssa find the world's most famous missing person before order crumbles for good? Istanbul is the most explosive of Luke Richardson's international thrillers to date. Get your copy to find out why. Woo! I'm really pleased with it. I'm happy that it's, as with all of these, as with any book release, happy to have written it, enjoyed the writing process, now really glad to be sharing it with you. You know, I like the whole process, but it gets to the point of release, I'm like, yep, go. Get out. I love the story. I want someone else to read it now. You know, I want to move on to the new thing. And I'll talk to you about possibly what's next. Perhaps today. I don't know. However, I've got these. Alison, you sent me these, which arrived today. I'm really pleased with. I'm using them for my beer right now. Official or official, unofficial, whatever. I like them. Which Alison's had printed. Istanbul coasters. They've come out so nicely. I love like the glossy finish on them. So cool. Thank you so much for them, Alison. They're going to stay on my desk here. I love it. Good branding as well. Very good branding. Right, Alison's asked a question, in fact. Let me have a look. Do you think there's a difference between travel for research and going on holiday? Yes, there is. However, I don't always know where the next story is going to be set. So I might go somewhere and intend it to be a holiday, and it ends up becoming a place in a book in the future. So often I don't intend to go somewhere for research. I'm off to Albania next week. I don't intend that to be a research trip necessarily, but if I get inspired that there should be a book set there at some point, then it will have become one in the past. So I suppose what I'm saying is I don't set out with an intention for it to either be a holiday or a research trip. It just sort of becomes one or the other, dependent on how the inspiration of that time sort of flows. And there are places yeah, so different sort of all sorts of different places have found their way into my writing. I remember one at the start of New York. It opens in St. Lucia, where I went for my brother's wedding. Now that certainly wasn't a research trip. It was for a wedding, and we had a lovely time hanging. I had a lovely time hanging out with family members and drinking a lot of beer in the all-inclusive swim-up bar, which is, I've never been to a place quite like it. But yeah, when I was writing it, sort of formulated into part of the book there. I thought it was a great idea to put it in there. So yeah, I think there is an idea in answer to your question, but I don't necessarily intend or ever intend to do one way or the other, or to go for one way or the other, if that makes sense. And I wanted to move on from that. I wanted to thank you if you have sent me a review of Istanbul on Friday when it goes live, when it's off pre-order. I would be so appreciative if you could go and post it on that Amazon page. That is the most important place for these to be. I love them being on Goodreads. I love them being on BookBub. I love them being on Facebook groups that you're part of, or community forums, or whatever it is that you're part of. That's brilliant. But the Amazon page is where people make that decision whether they're going to buy or not. So that is the most important place in my mind. So if you've written a review, I would love that to go on there ASAP on Friday, just so that anyone browsing it gets the chance to see what you thought. And I've had some fantastic ones here, and I'm just going to read them from the email I sent out this morning to my newsletter, people on my mailing list. Have you ever finished a story so action-packed that you felt a tension unrecognised by you until you relaxed? This is that kind of story. I love that. What a great comment. Thank you. I've not put the names down, so I can't thank you personally, but thank you if any one of these is yours. I've read all 6 books in the series and I've loved them all, but I have to say Istanbul is my favourite. Brilliant. I don't know what my favourite is, so don't ask. I couldn't tell you. I don't think I could tell you. Hang on for car chases and dangling mysteries. Yes. I love the Leo and Alyssa series. The characters just keep on growing in strength and resilience. Each one of Luke Richardson's series of books with Leo and Alyssa are great page turners, but Istanbul raises it to edge of your seat thrills. Richardson is just brilliant at writing a story that involves the reader to the extent that they feel like they're in every scene and facing every danger that Leo and Alyssa face. Yes, love these. These are brilliant. Another fast-paced page turner. That's more difficult to say than it appears. That kicks off right from the beginning. Yes, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for them. If one of those is yours, I appreciate it so much. As I said in the dedication to Riga, sharing these stories is so important, and your comments and your sort of feedback from them is brilliant, and I'm so appreciative of that. And there is always a point, I think, that where I finished a book and I'm doing the proofreading stage, that I think, have I got this right this time? You know, have I got this right? Have I forgotten something? Is this the one when everyone realizes that I don't know what I'm talking about, or it doesn't sound as good as it should, or whatever? You know, is this the one where it all falls apart? You know, but you guys give me confidence to do that, particularly those of you who are kind enough to be on my pre-readers team, my A team, to read them first of all, and I really appreciate that before it goes out. So yeah, thank you. All right, so what's the next few weeks looking like for me? I'm going to tell you. Then I'm going to make this a bit of a short one, get off in about 5 minutes or so, because I've got a few bits and bobs to do before setting this off, before getting this ready. So as I say, next on the weekend, I'm off to Albania and for a week and a half with a friend of mine, and then Martha and I are going to Wales for a long weekend over the Easter weekend. So it's about 2 weeks time. So I'm going to have over 2 weeks away from work, away from writing stories, away from anything like this, which I'm really looking forward to. I need it. I need a bit of a break. Then I'm coming back and I'm going to decide. Remember before I put in my newsletter, I gave you a decision, or I asked for your advice. Should I write the next Leo and Alyssa book, which will be called London? That's up for pre-order already, by the way. Thank you if you've done that. Or should I work on this new series? I've now got them both planned to an extent. I know the titles. I know what's going to happen, the main characters of each one. I'm going to have a think about. I'm getting the cover done for the new series, the first book in the new series, in the next few days. And I'm going to start work on them both. I'm going to sort of work on them concurrently to an extent. Do a couple of weeks on one, flip over and do a couple of weeks on the other. I think that's my intention. That's the way I'm going to try and work it and see how that goes. With the intention of one of them, it'll probably be the new series. I think I might release that one first, to be out before the summer. But I'll tell you more about that soon. It's exciting. It's an exciting series. It's a bit different, but I think you'll enjoy it. I think it's a little bit different, but I think it's similar enough that if you like my books already, if you like the books I've done with Steve, I think you'll transfer well over to this new series. And it's nice to have a break from different characters and try some new things as well. I think that's important for me as a writer, and hopefully you guys enjoy that too. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, for watching the ramblings of me. I will be back with more books and beer. I don't know when exactly. I think it'll be towards the end of April, so about a month's time, 3 or 4 weeks. Keep your eye on my mailing list, my newsletter, or on my Facebook group. For that, I'll let you know when the first one is. I'll be booking some authors in to speak on those soon as well. As I say, I think it'll be the end of April. Not sure yet. Haven't decided exactly when, but I think I do enjoy doing these, to be fair. So I will continue them at some point. I'll have a few weeks off, to have a break and then get on with the next project, and then I will come back and we'll do some more books and beer. Always the case, though, if there's anyone you think you'd love me to talk to, any author that you think, yes, that's amazing. I mean, if you're going to say Charles Dickens, that's going to be difficult. or even a major author who's alive, like Dan Brown, that's going to be a challenge. But think of the people we've had on already. If you're someone you think, oh yeah, I'd like to talk about them. And in fact, I've got a few suggestions that people have made to me that I haven't followed up on yet. So I do mean to do that. It just got to a stage a little while ago that I was booked up weeks and weeks in advance. I was really, for a while, I was really, really well booked up. But then I thought, right, I need to do a couple on my own to talk about this book. And so that's the way it's gone. Amazing. I'm going to finish my beer. I'm going to get some couple of launch things finished before chilling out, before getting myself chilled out. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for pre-ordering if you've done so already. I've posted the link in the comments, and I think it's down below in the description as well. If you can pre-order it, I really appreciate that. It makes a big difference to me. If you're waiting for it to come out on KU, that's fine too. I love that you're here. I love that you're supporting me. Thanks. Have a good one. See you soon.